In the heart of South Africa, a country striving for unity and reconciliation, lies a stark reminder of its divided past. Orania, a small town in the Northern Cape province, stands as a bastion of racial segregation. This community, established exclusively for white Afrikaners, has ignited controversy and debate since its inception. Orania's existence challenges the very fabric of a democratic South Africa, raising questions about equality, justice, and the legacy of apartheid. Orania's story is complex and layered, reflecting the deep-seated racial tensions that continue to simmer beneath the surface of South African society. It is a place where the ghosts of apartheid linger, a stark reminder of the country's painful history. To understand Orania, one must delve into its origins, its ideology, and the lives of those who call it home. Orania's roots can be traced back to 1991, a pivotal year in South Africa's history. As the dismantling of apartheid began and the prospect of a multiracial democracy loomed, a group of white Afrikaners sought refuge in the arid plains of the Northern Cape. Fearing the loss of their culture and identity in a changing South Africa, they established Orania as a whites-only enclave. Driven by a potent mix of Afrikaner nationalism and anxieties about the future, these pioneers envisioned Orania as a place where they could preserve their heritage and way of life. They sought to create a self-governing community free from the perceived threats of a multiracial society. Orania today is a town of approximately 2,000 residents, all of whom identify as white Afrikaners. Life in Orania revolves around a shared sense of community, cultural preservation and self-reliance. The town operates independently from the South African government in many respects, with its own municipality, schools and economy. Residents of Orania often cite a strong work ethic and a commitment to their shared heritage as defining characteristics of their community. The town's economy is largely based on agriculture, with residents engaging in farming and other manual labour. Orania also boasts a number of small businesses and industries, all aimed at fostering self-sufficiency. Orania's existence has been met with a mixture of condemnation, curiosity and cautious observation. Within South Africa, the town is widely viewed as an anachronism, a relic of a bygone era of racial segregation. Many South Africans, particularly those who endured the injustices of apartheid, view Orania as an affront to the principles of equality and reconciliation that underpin the nation's post-apartheid constitution. Critics argue that Orania perpetuates racial divisions and undermines the progress made towards building a more just and equitable society. They point to the town's whites-only policy as a blatant violation of human rights and a stark reminder of the systemic racism that continues to plague South Africa. Section 5. International Spotlight. Orania on the world stage. Orania has not escaped the scrutiny of the international community. The town's existence has drawn the attention of global media outlets, sparking debates about racial segregation, cultural identity, and the legacy of colonialism. Some international observers view Orania as an anomaly, a curious case study in the persistence of racial separation in a world striving for greater integration. Others see Orania as a troubling example of the enduring power of racial prejudice and the challenges of achieving true reconciliation in societies grappling with a history of division. Orania's story serves as a stark reminder that the fight for equality and justice is far from over, even in a world that claims to have moved beyond the era of overt racial discrimination. Section 6. The Price of Separation, Economic and Social Implications. Orania's commitment to self-reliance and separation from mainstream South African society comes at a cost. The town faces a number of economic and social challenges stemming from its isolation and its controversial ideology. One of the most pressing issues facing Orania is its economic sustainability. While the town has made strides in developing its own industries and businesses, it remains heavily reliant on agriculture, a sector vulnerable to fluctuations in weather patterns and global commodity prices. Orania's isolation also makes it difficult to attract outside investment and to participate fully in the broader South African economy. Section 7. A legacy of apartheid, Orania's place in South Africa's history. Orania's existence cannot be divorced from the broader context of South Africa's history of apartheid. The town stands as a stark reminder of the legacy of racial segregation and the deep scars it has left on the nation's psyche. For many South Africans, Orania represents a painful chapter in their past, a time when racial divisions were enshrined in law and enforced through violence and oppression. The presence of Orania in a democratic South Africa serves as a constant reminder of the fragility of progress and the enduring power of prejudice. It underscores the ongoing struggle to dismantle the structures of inequality and to create a society where all citizens have equal opportunities and rights, regardless of their race or ethnicity. Section 8. A future uncertain Orania in a changing South Africa. As South Africa continues to grapple with its past and to navigate the complexities of building a more just and equitable society, the future of Orania remains uncertain. The town's existence poses a challenge to the nation's commitment to integration and reconciliation. It also raises questions about the limits of tolerance and the right to self-determination in a diverse and democratic society. Whether Orania can continue to exist as a whites-only enclave in a nation striving for racial harmony remains to be seen. The town's fate will likely depend on a number of factors, including the political climate in South Africa, the willingness of its residents to engage with the broader society, and the ability of the nation to address the root causes of racial division and inequality. Section 9 calls for change, the debate over integration. The existence of Orania has sparked ongoing debates about the need for integration and the importance of building a more inclusive South African society. Many argue that Orania's isolationist stance is unsustainable and counterproductive to the nation's long-term goals of unity and reconciliation. They call for greater engagement with the residents of Orania, with the aim of fostering dialogue, understanding, and ultimately integration. These voices emphasize the importance of breaking down the barriers of prejudice and building bridges of communication and cooperation across racial and cultural divides. Section 10. A contested narrative, the story of Orania. The story of Orania is a complex and contested one. It is a story about identity, belonging, and the search for a place in a changing world. It is also a story about the enduring legacy of racism, the challenges of reconciliation, and the ongoing struggle to build a more just and equitable society. Orania's existence serves as a stark reminder that the journey towards a truly democratic and inclusive South Africa is far from over. It is a journey that requires ongoing dialogue, introspection, and a willingness to confront the uncomfortable truths of the past. The story of Orania is a story that continues to unfold, a story that will ultimately be written by the actions and choices of all South Africans.